Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. I'm here with one of my co-hosts. It's the Word of Drew.
NBA season kicks off tonight, which not only means I will talk about even less football on this football podcast, but it also means that the Celtics did their ring ceremony where Al Horford got his championship ring and I assume his first Social Security check.
Oh, boy. Shots fired at Al. We're also here with Dynamite Droppin', Mr. Mike.
I just want it noted for the record that I also will be doing this podcast without the Guardian cap.
Thank you. You're back. You're on.
And
Well done. All right.
I'm also here partially to help raise funds for the Jay Cutler Defense Fund.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
poor
Jay.
Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
I have to say one thing before we move off of Jay, is that you have the hairline and Jay has the same hairline. You guys have the same hairline. Good hair, despite your.
I also could dunk a basketball and would be impressive at Vanderbilt.
You did dunk on my hoop over the weekend, actually.
I did. I dunked on your son.
It was an 8-foot hoop, but he dunked on it. And he was like, what?
How old's your son? 7, 8?
He's 8.
Yeah.
He dunked on an 8-year-old. Congratulations. We buried the lead here because I think this is the first time ever I've done this without Mark. Megastar Mark is out with an illness. He's been carted off the field. Out of the injury, he's day-to-day. He's got the Fiedler. I don't want to know the story, but you were there, Drew. You were there together. So
I was there just for Sunday.
Yelling at children and adults, probably.
Not as much yelling at children as I thought. More just a resigned, yeah, move along.
Well, we lost our man. He did send me a note. Hold on, where did I put it? He sent us a note. He said, I'm missing the podcast. Please make sure to mention the following. So I'm just going to do this right now so I don't forget. FUBAR induction, Deshaun Watson. No explanation required. His MVP, Amari Cooper, for being the best wide receiver in the world. Sad boy bout to his last remaining brain cell. You nailed it. You nailed it.
3 for 3, no notes.
Yeah, doesn't need to be on the show ever. Just send a text. Just do some Greg's
Betts style.
Greg's Betts.
Forget in week 5. All right, we're here. The NBA is on, so we know. Don't completely lose us, Drew. I know when is Wemby play? Does he play?
Spurs don't play till Friday.
Friday.
Or no, I'm sorry, Thursday. They play. They got the Mavs. Ooh. But I mean, it's been a long time since the first Spurs game of the year was a nationally televised game,
it's
and
fun.
It is.
And Chris Paul is on your team.
I know. The possibility of like a kind of quasi-lob city with just him and Wemby. I mean, it doesn't really count as a lob if the guy doesn't have to jump to dunk.
That's true.
Those are tantalizing possibilities.
He'll be like Mike dunking on 8-year-olds.
Exactly.
But in the NBA. Okay, it's the A block. Everyone's hurt. Everyone is hurt.
Because everybody hurts.
Too bad we can't play songs anymore because Tom Petty copyright striked us. But yeah, everybody is injured. Beginning with, yeah, we got to strike. The one time I tried to annoy Drew and play Tom Petty, it was like, you can't do this. Tom Petty doesn't allow it.
Let that be a lesson to you.
He's dead.
His people are out there. I'm like, I'm just trying to bug my friend. Let me just play Tom Petty over and over again. All right. Category 1. I'm so sorry to do this to you, Mr. Mike. It's the year from hell. The Chiefs and 49ers.
It is what it is. Once again, apparently the Chiefs.
You sound like Mike. You sound like Shanahan right now. It is what it is.
Apparently, Chiefs players can just punch Trent Williams in the head, and there's no repercussions for that. You know, whatever.
That did happen.
Yeah, it did. Surprised the Chiefs weren't called on it. Again, it was a tight game early on, and then Spagnuolo just seems to be able to make Shanahan his bitch. Like he's done it a number of times now. Like Spags is a good defensive coach, and he can dial up a game plan that just makes it seem like the Niners are up 10 and Shanahan's going to choke on it, which is again par for the course. Except we weren't even up 10 this time.
You also had some injuries. Suffered even more
Ayuk's
injuries.
probably dead. Good thing we gave him a dump truck full of money.
He's out.
Who knows what Debo has? Maybe it's dengue fever.
He's in the hospital.
I don't know.
The current healthiest wide receiver on the team is the guy who got shot.
Yep.
Ricky Pearsall.
The guy who got shot to start the season is now able to actually play football, and he's our healthiest player.
Coincidentally, I dropped Ayuk on my fantasy team to pick him up.
Jennings is okay, I think. It's hard to keep track of who's not dead.
He's also hurt. Jennings is
Is
hurt.
he now hurt? Right.
Yep.
And Kittle's hurt. Kittle's also hurt.
Kittle is always hurt. He always plays banged up. And I don't think McCaffrey's coming back this year. So
They said he might after the bye week. You can't do that. This is a family show. There you go.
That's it. Play some Tom Petty.
Oh, I want to so badly. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. What do you feel? How do you feel about Mahomes running that guy over at the goal line?
Oh, look, another surprise. Mahomes plays the I'm going to run out of bounds card, and everyone's scared because if you read me or Pat Mahomes,
yes,
it's a 15-yard penalty. I want him to get hit like Scott Mitchell used to get hit at some point, or Dave Krieg. I want someone
Mitchell
I'm
just get blasted out of his shoes.
I'm just going to launch him into the next fucking stratosphere. I am so sick of Kermit the Frog.
Honestly, if I'm a defender, like do it in the first quarter. When he does that, blast him out of bounds, and the penalty doesn't matter.
And again, if I'm a second or third string defensive guy and I'm in playing that day, I take a shot at him.
Take a shot, knock him out of bounds.
And not because I want the man to be hurt. I'm not saying
right.
that.
No, we're playing. It's football. It's not ballet. Take his head off.
That Mahomes and other quarterbacks get to do this little whoop-de-woo and pretend to slide and anything else.
Yeah.
Quarterback steps out of the pocket, scrambling. He should be treated like a running back. This whole idea that he has all this special privilege, if he wants to slide, fine. But beyond that, like if you are taking the ball out of the pocket and moving it into the field of play, you should be treated like any other ball carrier. You shouldn't get this special status just because you're a quarterback. It's ridiculous.
I think that they would argue that they're not doing that, but they're doing it. I mean, they're flopping on the sidelines.
Absolutely gets called.
It gets called more when it's quarterback. It's obvious. It's clear. Yeah.
They used to do it with Brady. They're doing it with Mahomes now. It's ridiculous.
What about Brady saying
Chiefs? They're an annoying storyline. The only part of the Chiefs I still like is Andy Reid because I think the guy just sort of deserves it. Plus, he kind of looks like he ate Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. Diabetes.
Beyond that, they're boring as hell.
They're not fun to watch. They have a lot of injuries too.
They're not even playing all that well, but literally every break goes their way. Tiny toe out of bounds, penalty doesn't get caught. Like it is just preposterous how much it all breaks their way.
They've certainly nailed that Patriot way to play where it's boring and no one thinks they're good, but they still win.
Or that's what the people who write the script want you to think.
Script writer. All right.
And while we're here, the Senior Grant Suzuki dip of the week. I'm going to do it early.
Okay.
It's me for having any hope that this Niners season was going to turn out not to be this.
They can't be the Cowboys. They're on bye. You lost them. They're on bye.
Jerry can still do it on a bye. You know that.
He's been really quiet, though. This a year from hell made me think, what's the biggest year from hell you remember of the past? You have one? You remember a year from hell, maybe from your own team or an injury? Let's do one or both if you can't think of one. What's an injury that just complete a year from hell? 2003 Red Sox?
We lost to Aaron fucking Boone.
You lost in the playoffs. You lost. That's not a year from hell.
The goddamn Yankees, damn it, with Grady Little.
You had one bad game. That's not a year from hell.
Fine, all right.
It's a shitty way to end the year, but you didn't have a year from hell. What's a year from hell or an injury that completely just wrecked your team? I can think of one. I can think of two.
I mean,
me.
listen, for me, Derek Carr breaking his leg in the last week of the year they went 12-4, and then they lost to the Texans in the playoffs.
That's not a
But
year from hell, but that's a horrible injury.
The famous one for me would be the 96 Spurs when David Robinson missed virtually the entire season with a back injury, but that led to them drafting Tim Duncan. So it's hard to throw that too far under the bus. I don't know.
That's
the Raiders and Mets have had so many different years from hell. You know, the year of the Mets collapse when they were up 17, when they were up 7 games with 17 to go and missed the playoffs. What was it? 07 when they had, that was 07 because that was after they went to the NLCS and lost because Carlos Beltran refused to swing despite being paid $140 million.
I remember
that was bad.
Were we watching that game together?
I don't think so.
Again, Drew?
06.
That was bad.
It was 06. Carlos Beltran could pull me out of a burning car, and I think I would ask him why he didn't swing at 3-2 before I said thank you. You know, and for the Raiders, the one that always comes to mind is 03 when they completely fell apart after losing in the Super Bowl.
Oh, right.
It's been downhill ever since.
I'm with you on that one, and it terrifies me. I just thought of it. If it wasn't this season, or what this season shaping up to be, it's 2016. When the 49ers hired one Chip Kelly as their coach. And then went a robust 2-14. It was the year where I renounced my Niners fanhood, and I said I would not come back to the team until they fired Chip Kelly. Thank God it was only a year.
Right.
That was my brief flirtation with the Jay Cutler-led Bears.
You picked Jay Cutler. That's right.
Look, I had a hall pass for that year, and I went with the Bears.
I liked it.
Regret it for
I
a
like
minute.
that move.
That was a terrible season. Like as far as being a Niners fan, that season was just god awful. Like but if we're talking about like the most traumatic like injury or like
entire
it's when Pepper Johnson killed Joe Montana.
That was in the playoffs.
Like a portion of my childhood died. But again, he's my favorite player of all time, and he never played another down for the Niners after that.
That was a bad day. That was bad. I hate the Giants. Oh, I hate the Giants. Probably started that day, honestly. But my year from hell.
Up with Terry Collins.
Yeah, they did. I cursed them. They made the Super Bowl, so I guess I didn't. Year from hell for me is Panthers. I believe it's 04, the year after they went to the Super Bowl. They had the opening night Monday Night Football game against the Packers and Brett Favre. And on like the 10th play, Steve Smith blew out his knee and missed the entire season. It was basically like, we're good, we're gonna be back, and the entire season went down the drain in the very first game. In like the first quarter, it was gone. He came back and they were good and they made games again, but like the whole season was wrecked from there on out.
And you know, Patrick Jeffers was hurt in the first quarter of the first preseason game that year.
I can't believe it happened. We saw it, but I can't believe the Panthers went 15-1.
They did go 15-1 later,
15-1,
and they somehow lost that Super Bowl. Which I still don't know how they lost to a Peyton Manning who couldn't throw. They somehow lost that game. I forever will hate.
Really, they lost Von Miller.
I will forever hate Von Miller for that game. I mean,
sorry, keep going.
I don't know. No.
As much as Von Miller's girlfriend hates him.
So to recap, Carlos Beltran, you owe me an explanation.
Yeah, that was incredible. All right. Next category is revenge game. Sean Payton went back to New Orleans and put a whooping on Spencer Rattler. He Rattler. That guy did not look good. The Saints didn't look good. Broncos defense could have had another fumble touchdown, got called back. Bo Nix didn't do anything. He did absolutely nothing. But it doesn't matter. The Saints get crushed by the Broncos. Sean Payton revenge game. Broncos defense is good.
And also that, after kind of teasing us there for 2 weeks, it turns out the Saints are the Saints are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
They are not good. And especially in the absence of Derek Carr, they are not good. They got problems.
They have problems. A lot of problems. They also have next year, their salary cap is so bad.
Is
They're
stupid.
$81 million over the cap.
They're never
Next
going to
year.
be.
I'm not a GM, but that's a bad number.
They're not
never
even good. Who are they paying this money to? I
They're
don't
not
understand.
going to be able to get Juan Soto at this rate.
No Juan Soto for you. The Yankees can't even afford Juan Soto, apparently. They offered him
They went dollar store version Pete Alonso.
They offered him $440 million, and he said no.
Dude,
Which is probably the right answer, but
admit,
still.
would you be shocked? And we're getting way off base. Would you be shocked if the final number for Soto was 10 years, 600?
No, I think it's
I
going to
don't
be
think I'd
more.
be shocked.
It's going to be more than that. What did
Well-
Ohtani get?
Ohtani got 10 years, 700, mostly
He's-
deferred, but also Ohtani got paid to play 2 positions, which Soto won't do.
I don't think is Ohtani ever going to pitch again?
He's going to pitch next year.
You think he will?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So to answer your question,
Soto's
about the
getting
Saints-
$600 million or more.
To answer your question about the Saints, Alvin Kamara's cap number is $18.5 million.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a
Marshawn Lattimore is 14.6.
They got to start getting rid of this shit.
Cameron Jordan is 13.8. Derek
He's the only
Carr
guy
is
they got worth keeping.
12.6. Taysom Hill is 9.1. Why are you paying Taysom Hill 9.1? Why is he a
They think
$9.1
he's
million
good.
cap hit? What does he do?
He's your H-back.
He scores when he's in.
He's a Hulk.
Like, look, he's fun and I think he's great, but like 9 million? Really?
The fantasy podcast I listen to, they call him the Smiling Goon, which I think is a great nickname for someone. The Smiling Goon. Okay. Well, Sean Payton got his revenge on the Saints, even though he screw the Saints. The Saints wanted to keep him, right? He just was like, I'm done, and tried to go to Miami, and it didn't work out, right? Isn't that what happened? I love when people have revenge games when it's their fault. Like, I need revenge. No, it's not. He did it
for being rightfully terminated from this job where I did a bad job.
Did it? What are you talking about? The other side of the coin was Saquon Barkley. This guy could have had 300 yards rushing if he wanted to.
Okay. How does the Giants GM have a job right now?
Even Bill Belichick, your favorite media personality, Mike.
America's favorite, Bill Belichick.
America's favorite media personality said on the air, how does this GM have a job still? Basically.
That's because he wants that guy's job.
Yeah, he's going to take it. He's going to get it.
Oh, he's going to get it. Absolutely.
Yep.
Look, whatever. I think it's going to be great. It'll be interesting.
I don't know if it'll be great, but
look, and what's the best case scenario? He takes the job and the Giants continue to shit the bed.
Oh,
and
I love it.
Belichick struggle even more. You're going to love it.
Although, I'll come to the defense of the Giants a little bit because this is kind of just what we're talking about with the Saints. If the Giants had Saquon Barkley today, would they be any better than they currently are?
Not really. Slightly.
Yes.
They're not going to be a playoff team. They weren't a playoff team when they had him.
No, of course.
So why pay him? By the time the Giants are ready to compete, he's going to be past it anyway.
But
I guess
now could you have traded for something? You know, like
the
counter argument is
that much.
You gave David Carr that much money,
Derek Carr
or whatever the hell his name is,
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, whatever, doesn't matter.
Danny Dimes.
You gave
David Carr, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones. They're all kind of.
I'm all out of sorts right now, and y'all know it. So
shit.
Either way, you gave Daniel Jones that extension. Like that alone should have gotten you fired. To then have
that guy got fired.
Barkley not only leave but go to a hated division rival and torch people. You should lose your job for that.
He's going to lose his job.
You should lose it now.
They don't fire GMs in the middle of the year. That doesn't often happen.
No, that doesn't happen a lot.
Start the search. What do you have to lose?
I don't know why you wouldn't. I guess because you have to make transactions still. I don't know.
What the hell did the GM do in the middle of the season?
The Panthers didn't fire their GM last year until the end of the year. Made no sense. I don't know. Barkley killed the Giants. They asked him if he wanted to set his record. He said, "No, I'm good." He doesn't even care. He's like, "I'm good." He could have had way more yards. He was like, we're killing him 28-3. I don't need to go back out. Sirianni's pumping his fist, jumping around like he did something. He didn't do anything in this game.
Beat the Giants.
You beat the Giants. You didn't call any plays. Oh my God.
You know what it is?
Okay. I got
thought of-
excited for a second though. Hold on. I got excited because Daniel Jones got benched in this game, and my guy, Drew Lock, came in, and he was not good. It was no better. I'm waiting for the day that Drew Lock gets the job. It's gonna happen.
It finally dawned on me who Sirianni is.
Oh, good. We need this.
Sirianni is the guy coaching his son's Pop Warner team, who believes his son is a great athlete, but is actually terrible. And he's living vicariously through this. And he acts like a spoiled flag football parent. That's who he is.
Okay. He might fight someone in the stands, though. He's kind of unhinged.
He's like angry dad who, peaked at 17 playing high school football and will tell you about how great he is at the Happen Inn.
This isn't exactly right, but he kind of reminds
25-cent wing night.
Not anymore. Goddamn inflation.
Shit. He kind of reminds me of this dad at T-ball this past year who yelled at his son from the outfield, "You're walking home," when his son missed a pitch. You're walking home to a 5-year-old. That's kind of what Sirianni reminds me of.
Yeah, he's that archetype.
Oh my God. All right. Moving on. Next category is he's got a seat on the plane after all. Doug Peterson gets to fly home on the team plane and not via Atlantic Seaway. The Jags beat the Patriots. Patriots are very bad. Patriots are real bad. Jags aren't very good either.
You may recall last week I made us take a pledge to not talk about this game.
You did. I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah,
Drake May was not.
That happened here.
Drake May was all right. It's all right. Oh, the most interesting thing is their coach said they're soft.
Mm-hmm.
Gerard Mayo said the team is soft. Whose job is it to make the team actually play hard? You, Gerard Mayo. It's your fucking fault. The team's soft. That made me
This
laugh.
close to the can't win with him speech.
He's getting fired. Maybe.
No, come on.
No, I think he might be a fired candidate.
No, I don't think he's a sacrificial lamb like that. He's not Lane Kiffin.
He might. He might get fired by the end of the year. All right. What? Seahawks crush the Falcons, no doubt. No doubt about it.
Yeah, that one was a weird one. I didn't see that coming.
Did not see that coming a mile away.
Not to say that I thought the Seahawks were an automatic win, but I didn't think it would be
kill
that.
It? Right?
Yeah.
It was
Is the
ugly.
NFC South just terrible?
Yes, we already talked about it.
I think so. Yeah.
But the Falcons are a competent team. They're 4-2. We had to do that game. But, okay, Seahawks defense was bad, right?
Yes.
And the Falcons couldn't do anything.
Their
Bijan
defense
Robinson,
is
maybe a little, but
Poor Kirk Cousins.
most interesting thing of this game was finally hit Michael Penix's music, whatever that is, a chamber orchestra from the 1700s.
It's a Duke Ellington swing number.
He was there. Michael Penix showed up. Music from the Civil War band, the American Revolution fight
Battle
song.
Hymn of the
that song
Republic.
from the Ken Burns Civil War documentary.
Yeah, that's his song. Well, Penix showed up. He didn't do very much, but he was in the game.
No, he was in the game.
He was in the game.
They call him EA Sports because he's in the game.
Oh, I like it. Oh, it's too bad Mark's not here because this next category is Mark versus Greg. No dice in here. Bills trounce the Titans. Amari Cooper doesn't even know where he's running, but still catches a touchdown. The Titans are bad.
They in all the tumult of Sunday, they would occasionally check the score on their phones and yell at each other from across the booth about who was winning or not winning.
Thank you for bringing that up.
And then as Greg and I were getting the car and bringing it back to the convention center, it was just me and him, and he looked at his phone and saw the final, and he was like, "Ugh." I believe that was a direct quote.
Ugh. Poor Greg. Poor Greg. The Titans aren't good. They started Mason Rudolph, Will Levis.
No help.
Will Levis wasn't in. Didn't matter. But it makes me sad because the Will Levis picture of the week is dead.
Hit
There's
the
no
skids.
Will Levis picture of the week because he was on the bench.
Isn't there a sad picture of him sitting on the bench, like eating Cheetos?
I don't think he was that sad. I think he was just what he doesn't know where.
Happy to not get hit.
Yeah. I don't know what. Bills look pretty good. If they're playing the Ravens, they're not going to be good. But anybody else, they're probably going to be okay. Mari Cooper, once he learns the offense a little bit, I think he's going to be nice. Keon
Nice
Coleman.
weapon for them.
Keon Coleman starting to look a little bit better every week.
Yeah.
A little bit better. I don't think the Titans are diddly poo now, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah. I
They're
don't
not
think there's
sad
any,
boys anymore.
I don't think there's
Now
any debate about that.
they're dropping down to diddly poo if we didn't put them there already. This category is, does it get better for both teams from here? The Bengals beat the Browns. Bengals appear to be on the rise. The Browns lost Watson to an Achilles injury from karma. And they're going to have Jameis Winston in, so they're going to be better, I would assume.
My Achilles snapped because I couldn't get a massage.
I mean,
he got booed.
boy, saying Jameis Winston is going to be in and they're going to be better, that's a dangerous sentence to put into the universe. I mean, it might be
But it
true.
might be true.
But damn.
That's damning Deshaun. He might be better. Somehow he was the third string quarterback in this game.
Damning with faint praise.
I know. But he does stuff. Like, he can be sort of effective.
He certainly can wing the ball. Whatever happens after that, he may not be responsible for.
This is a very, very weird Sunday because not only did Jameis show up, but also his counterpart showed up as well. Later
Spencer?
on in the no. What's his name? Freaking Mariota also showed up on the same day. They both came in relief.
Holy cow, there's a blast
day.
pass.
Weird day. Bengals look better. They still should have blown out the Browns, but they didn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far as saying the Bengals have righted the ship. I think they're still not a very good team, but I think they're good enough to beat the Browns.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Deshaun going down. He got cheered. They cheered when he was injured. The Browns fans cheered when he was injured. Everyone got mad. All the players got mad about that. It's like, okay, but he's not a good guy and he hasn't played very well. I'm not for cheering injuries, but
the players don't have any choice except to either get mad or at least feign anger.
Yeah.
Right? Because they all got to live with each other in the locker room. But, I would be curious to know what they all really thought.
That's very true.
I mean, my guess is it's nobody likes to see anybody get hurt, but also, thank God, because he was absolutely pooping the bed out there every week. Maybe we got a shot to do something different.
Yeah.
Maybe we can win some games.
Look, if you're on the Browns and you think from this perspective of this guy's taking up a absolute astronomically large amount of our cap room, and he's terrible. He does not put us in a position to win. He's god awful. Oh, and he's a reprehensible human being. Okay.
Yeah. And Jameis Winston's the backup, so we're gonna get better.
Just quality. Quality all
We're
around.
gonna get more exciting. I don't know if we're gonna get better.
Definitely more exciting. We'll be able to throw the ball, maybe to the other team a lot, but we'll be able to do it. Nick Chubb was back. He did stuff. That was nice. I like Nick Chubb. I don't actually hate the rest of the Browns.
No.
I actually think Kevin Stefanski's a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, won coach of the year last year.
Yeah. I think Stefanski's in a situation where he got saddled with a really piss poor deal that ownership wanted.
Yeah.
And
he's getting fired. Mike Vrabel is going to be the coach next year.
Well, maybe. But Stefanski's to look at the situation and be like, I'm going to end up better because I'm no longer the head football coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Listen, I've said it before. By God, that's Ron Rivera's music.
Oh no!
Here he comes.
Ron. He's living fat and happy on NFL Network now. Why?
And here he comes with his valet, oiled up Rob Ryan.
No! Why are you bringing him back? No, God.
He never left.
Is
He
Nathaniel
never
Hackett
left.
going to be the offensive coordinator? Just complete
Yes.
the
Just
trifecta?
put
gonna
all
be
the
the
characters on one
NWO.
team. Everyone we talk about, just put them on one team.
I came here looking to play some games, and I hear about this thing called the Cleveland Steamer, and I can't find it. Help me.
This guy over here is real sweaty. Oh God, that's just I don't want to. No,
What?
you know what? I retire.
What's that smell?
Why you smell so weird? And never wear a shirt, Rob. I like them together.
It's coconut oil.
I like them together as a pair. Buddy cop, going cross country, doing interviews at every NFL team. Their package deal. All right. Next category is Russ cooks. He cooks the Jets. Russell
does.
Wilson. Whoa, he came in and looked good in the second half.
Against a defense that's supposed to be good.
They're not as good now that Robert Saleh's not there.
Yeah.
Um,
Although
We
they
made-
signed Hassan Reddick,
he's in.
or that's close or something.
They did. He's coming in. Sonrak's coming in. Devontae Adams did literally nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. He
Saw the field. That was it.
He was on the field. I don't know. Maybe his hamstring still hurts. He also said he was mad. That was funny in the post-game press conference. He's
Yep,
like,
I saw
I'm
that
sick
too.
of this shit or whatever. I'm like, you've been there for fucking 5 days. What do you mean you're sick of this shit already?
Taking lessons from complaining Romeo Dobbs.
Oh, God. Romeo Dobbs. The Karen of the NFL.
Wants to know why his mayonnaise is so spicy.
Our new favorite character, Romeo Dobbs,
I
the
enjoy
complainer.
complaining Romeo Dobbs.
Still complaining about what we don't know. All right, Steelers Jets. Poochie was bad. Let's start there. Poochie
Yeah.
was bad. They
Poochie
didn't run.
is bad.
He can't move.
He is
Cannot
bad.
move.
He's
At
bad.
least Kirk Cousins admits that he's done. Kirk's like, whatever, man, pay me. I'll walk out.
Well, walk is a generous term, but
Yeah.
I get what you mean. No, he is Peyton Manning statuesque in the pocket right now.
He doesn't move. It's rough. It's rough. The Steelers made them look horrible.
Yes.
I mean, the Steelers defense is good.
he's good. He's really
Their
good.
offense looked a lot better. I mean,
I think
yes.
we all probably owe Mike Tomlin an apology.
I
here.
think we do,
Not
right?
me.
Yes.
Not me, you mothers. I
You
had him in
said
the playoffs.
Russell was good.
No, but
You
I
didn't
had
say
the
Russell was
Steelers-
good.
I had the Steelers were in the playoffs until somebody proved otherwise because I believe in Mike Tomlin.
No,
Go back and check
our-
the tape. I said it.
That's fine.
I believe you.
None
did
of us-
it. Yeah.
None of us were
believe that.
complaining about the Steelers. We were complaining about the decision to start Russell Wilson, and I guess
We did complain about that.
Yes,
and
that's
somehow that
That's
worked out
true.
for Mike. And this was a good defense too. So
Yeah.
let Russ
Maybe
cook.
Russ has got a little something left in the tank.
Does that mean we have to get rid of this song?
Making your way out of Denver today really ain't so bad.
Because you're on the
Not
Steelers.
as tall as the snowfall, you can't be too sad. It's not like they'll miss you anyway. Somehow you wanna go where nobody cares you suck.
I just wanted to get to the part where he doubles his voice. All right. Chris is the best.
One of the few songs we're legally allowed to play at this
Yeah,
point.
we can't play any of that. We only can play Chris. All right.
Legally allowed tour.
We're getting blasted by the Petty Foundation.
Wait, can we still play X-Pac?
Tell us what to do.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You can tell us what to wear. Think you better.
Yeah, we can. Sorry, it took me a moment to think about that. I wasn't
You
sure.
don't
I had
get
to
fair
check.
use.
I had to check with my lawyers
You're
on
not a
that.
commercial venture here. At least, I mean, I'm not making any money. Are you guys?
No one's making any money. No one's making any money.
How is it not fair use?
It should be fair use, Petty.
It should
What's
be.
going on? God
Petty is
damn it.
petty as
You
fuck.
give all your songs to the Bad Monkey show. All your songs went to that. Is that why Apple's going after us? All right.
Probably.
playoff atmosphere is the category because the Packers played the Texans and it was a close game, except for CJ Stroud didn't look very good. But the Packers pull this one out.
Packers are good.
Drew's Packers.
Drew's Packers.
I mean, not for nothing. Is the NFC North the best division in football right now?
Mhm.
Probably.
I think it might be.
How about this?
Probably.
Josh Jacobs, Drew, your guy, had never caught a touchdown pass ever. 200 and something attempts, 200 and something catches with no touchdowns. He broke that streak in this game.
That a boy.
There you go. I don't know. It was fun. I think the Texans still, while they're good, cannot beat the upper echelon of the NFL right now. They're still a little bit step down. They still need some more things. Stroud needs to season a little more.
I would agree with you if you added the caveat they cannot reliably beat the upper tier of the
Okay,
NFL.
sure.
I think if they, if D'Amico was on the screws on one day and they had all their shit together, I think they could run with a lot of teams. But
That's
I do
true.
think they have less margin for error than some of the true elites.
That is probably a better way to put it. But they just seem to step off in this game. They also didn't have Nico Collins, so that's probably a contributing factor. But
The haranguing complaints just raining out of the mouth of Romeo Dobbs frightened them into submission.
he was just at the.
Wanted to know why it was warm in Green Bay.
Why is this grass so green? Why are we wearing these white uniforms? We shouldn't be wearing white after Labor Day. It's not winter. Why do you keep saying winter? These are the winter outfits. It's not winter. Why does Jacoby get a touchdown and not me?
Why are there so many shirts starting with 3X available in this town?
Oh, who built a house next to the stadium? Last week he complained about how green he didn't like green, but now they're all white. Now he doesn't like that either. What was it? What were his stats on this one? I don't even look. Did he score? I think he scored. He's going to leave the team. 8 catches, 94 yards, no touchdown.
Yeah, no, that's
He's
it.
out.
He's leaving.
He's out. How dare you guys? You threw it to me 8 times. It should have been 10. The other playoff atmosphere was the NFC North again. Lions and Vikings had a nice little battle there.
They did. I'm coming to the conclusion that I have to grudgingly admit that the Lions are good.
Whoa. Who else is the number 1 seed in the NFC? I don't know who.
Right now,
Unless
nobody.
NFC North team or bust. The Vikings lost their first game. How about that?
I know.
First loss.
But yeah, I'm still not entirely sure why, but I'm it's the old what was the old God, Mike, you might remember, what was the old thing from the Red Green show where with
They don't find you handsome, they at least find you handy.
No, those
Stick on the ice.
the thing where he had the club and it was like, I'm a man and I can change if I have to, I guess. Like that's how I feel about the Lions.
Yeah.
Well, one of their players is suspended for the next 2 games for PEDs or something like that, right?
Jameson Williams.
Our good buddy, who's
He's
always
just-
in trouble.
He's just thrilled it wasn't gambling.
Oh, God.
My man's had a rough road since he hurt his leg at Alabama.
He has had a rough road. He was having a nice start to the year, though.
He was.
So, Lions could have used Aiden Hutchinson in this game.
Sure could have.
We did find out that he might return if they can make the Super Bowl,
All the way to the Super Bowl.
which
Which still feels like an aggressive comeback schedule for
that's
that injury.
yeah, right. We'll see. What about the Vikings? Do you think that anything here on the Vikings, or they just aren't as good as the Lions?
I think on this particular Sunday they weren't as good as the Lions.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, listen, it's hard to come down on them too hard. They've only lost 1 game, and it was to the Lions. I'm not, if they start dropping bad games, I'm not going to, we'll reevaluate. But for now, I still think they're pretty good.
Okay. All right. Best team in the NFL? The Baltimore
Detroit?
Ravens?
Oh,
The Baltimore
Baltimore?
Ravens? Are they now the best team in the NFL?
in the last month, I would say yes. I know they got out of the gate kind of sideways. I mean, shit, they lost to the Raiders. But yeah, I mean, in the last month, they've looked really solid all around, and they're starting to work their tight ends into the game more, which is a big deal for them.
Andrews caught a touchdown pass in this
Yeah.
game. This game was weird though, because the Bucs were down by like $1 trillion.
Yes.
They were down so much, and then they started to work their way back, and then everyone got hurt.
Yep.
Godwin broke his ankle. He's gone for the rest of the year. Mike Williams pulled a hamstring. He's gone until the bye week. It's not looking good for the Bucs now. After
Did
this
catch his
loss.
what? What did he catch? His 100th touchdown catch? I mean,
He
that's
did.
something.
I mean, he's just produces. Mike Williams
I know.
just produces in these
I
games.
know.
Doesn't matter. Isn't this the first time he's had the same quarterback back to back, or one of the few times, right?
Yeah, that, and I mean, how many years was Brady in Tampa? 2?
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it
2
would have been
years
it
of
would have been the 2
Brady,
Brady years, and now the 2 Mayfield
and
years.
now 2 Mayfield. So
Because I don't think he probably had multiple years of Jameis, but I don't think Jameis was the beginning of season starter for all of them.
no, I don't think he was. Well, the Ravens ran all over the Bucs, and the Bucs have a good defense.
Yeah, they
the
do.
Derrick Henry takes just look worse and worse. My Derrick Henry take doesn't look very good. About the offense doesn't look as good with him. No, it looks fine. He looks fine.
Just fine.
And the later in the game it goes, the more insane he looks. He had
They
like
just
80,
Oh,
you're right. The 81-yard rush was in like the fourth quarter where they were just beaten down, and he just smoked him. And he looked
Yep.
like he was going faster the more he ran.
he's Earl Campbell, man, and the league is not built to stop Earl Campbell right now.
Nope.
They can't. They can only hope to contain him. So the Ravens are good. Real good after that slow start. Okay, here we go. Here's a fun one. Anthony Richardson. That's the category.
This game was remarkable.
His stat line, he was 10 for 24 passing in a win over the hapless
In a win.
Dolphins.
I know.
In a win. He looked awful in this game. Awful.
My man's not good.
It was bad. And the Dolphins aren't very good.
The Dolphins have nothing left, and the players know it. What are they trying so hard for?
They ran Anthony Richardson with a bum hip 14 different times in this game. He
That's
was
his
the leading
value.
rusher.
That's the thing he does well.
Oh my God. They look terrible. They could barely win it. They were down. They were losing this game at one point until they just started running him.
Yeah.
Richardson, my goodness. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse. Every time he goes out, it gets worse.
Like it just seems everyone's kind of bad. There's really not that many good teams in the league this year. It seems like there's a whole bunch of teams that are really subpar.
That's very true. We should talk about this now because Tua's coming back. We talked about how he shouldn't. He's coming back, and he's not wearing a Guardian cap, as you said. It's a personal choice not to wear a Guardian cap. I guess. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't wear it. But he's back.
He may not be cognizant enough to recognize the choice that's in front of him.
I guess maybe. My goodness. I don't understand it. Does it like affect his play in any way? I'm not really sure. Is it heavier than like the normal helmet, and that
I mean, it
doesn't
has
allow
to
you
be,
to
right? But you wouldn't think it's that disruptive.
But why wouldn't you say that? Be like, okay, it's going to be disruptive to my progression or whatever if I wear it. Or is he not? Or is he just trying to like put a smoke screen out there so people don't headhunt him or something? I don't know. I'm not really sure why he wouldn't wear it. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't make a lot of sense that he would play. He said he was fine the day after his concussion. Like, okay. I don't know. It didn't look very good. It didn't look very good. What's going to happen if he gets another one?
Again, the guy's married with kids, isn't he?
Yep.
He said that his wife and him talked and they're fine. Whatever that means. I don't know. Not really sure. Just don't run the ball at least. I mean, at
Not-
least try to protect yourself by.
It's not the
doing
decision
stupid
I
shit.
would make, but it's also not my decision to make.
No, and he gets to make that call, like
Yeah.
freedom and whatnot. But ooh,
It's
Boy,
true.
it feels like a bad decision.
it does.
It's true. But
Like I, you know,
when you're that young and this is your whole life, I mean, I could see not wanting to give it up. I honestly
Did-
could.
you know this. But again, yes, it's been your life, but you're also going to leave with a dump truck full of money. Like you're going to be able to do other things in life.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do that if you're drooling on yourself because you've had too many concussions and you're either, mentally incapable or, God forbid, how many of these guys have killed themselves?
Yeah. The only
Yeah.
thing I can think is, for a lot of these guys, and I'm sure he's no exception, this has been what they've done since they were 7 or 8, and they're afraid of a life without it.
Yeah.
If
I
he
get
retired, I'm sure he's terrified of the prospect of if I were to retire, I would wake up tomorrow and do what? And you have to figure that out. But again, it's
Right. It's a lot
I would
easier
do
with
nothing.
a dump truck of
I would
money.
sit on my ass all day and I do nothing.
He could easily be on College Game Day,
He'll
right?
be a consultant for Bama. He's got,
Yeah, he could be on. He's a well-spoken guy who's fun. He could be on Game Day tomorrow.
He could film commercials in the Alabama area for your local Lexus dealer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. He could sell cars. He doesn't need to do any of that. He has enough money anyway if he finishes the season. All right. It's a little scary. Hopefully he's okay and doesn't get hurt again. I don't know why you wouldn't use the tools. That's the one thing I don't get. It's like
Yeah.
I get wanting to play again because that's how you're wired. But okay, well, there's tools to protect you. Why don't you use those tools if they are available to you? Nope. Okay, this game was on ESPN Plus. It was I wrote board. Cardinals and Chargers.
McConkey.
Did
that's the
McConkey
only
even-
thing worth updating in this
Did
game.
he do anything? Did McConkey even play?
5 catches, 46 yards, 7
Thank you.
targets.
What is the episode? McConkey
That
would have?
episode is McConkey's current lady is a messed up photographer. After a bust of counterfeit money being sold for $500,000, the real money is nowhere to be found, except by McConkey's girlfriend. McConkey, suspected of the heist, pursued by criminals and hassled by his bosses. But when McConkey's girlfriend suddenly packs up to go, McConkey finally gets it, but it's almost too late.
What? Did you write a whole thing for that?
Oh yeah, that was a script.
That was a script.
rehearsed.
You had that all written. My goodness. My other favorite thing about this is 80s television shows when something happens and then you just don't ever talk about it in the next
Not ever
episode.
again. Yeah.
It never
There never
he
was
was-
a girlfriend.
he was in a coma the last episode, right?
You have to
Because he was
understand
hurt.
that- you have to understand
And he
all
had
these
dreams
episodes,
of Korea. In this
There
episode,
is-
he's just back.
there is no plot consistency because the only thing that matters is McConkey himself. It's like Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, right.
How is it
yeah.
this woman keeps showing up in small towns and people keep dying? I think she's a serial killer.
This reminds me of Magnum PI. I like watching Magnum PI, and there was this because
Great
it's
show.
fucking awesome. It's great. I'm
Amazing.
not kidding. It's great. But there was an
I saw the
episode,
DVD says at your house this weekend,
Yes.
Ryan. I saw
so
them.
you know it's true. You know it's true. So we're watching
the short story.
Magnum. We're watching Magnum PI, and there's an episode where his super awesome Ferrari car explodes. Right? It's the car. It's on everything from the show. It explodes. The next episode, he just drives the car through. The car is fine. What happened
got
to
a
the
new one.
car?
Higgins set me up.
Higgins gave me another car. What? He just has the car again. It's the same car, same license plate, everything.
Again, the most glaring plot hole in Magnum PI is how a man, as a private investigator, drives a Ferrari.
Drives
This
a
is Hawaii.
Ferrari. Yeah.
Well, he drives the Ferrari because his backer loans it to him. That's the backstory.
Hmm.
He's a famous author who gives Magnum PI the use of the lot and the car. But then he blows it up, and then it's back the next episode. No explanation. Not like we fixed it or we got a new one. Nothing. It's just the same car.
No, like my favorite 80s TV gimmick is from Knight Rider.
Oh God.
And it's the
Yes.
episodes where there's the evil Michael Knight
The
and
evil,
Kid.
yes.
And Evil
Evil
Kid has
Kid.
the yellow
Evil
colored.
Kid.
Yeah.
Evil Kid has the yellow instead of the red, it's yellow. That whole like
Love it.
Dark Knight Industries, whatever it's called, is
Love it.
amazing. And it's just Hasselhoff with a bad mustache.
Yes, it's the
amazing.
same. Yeah. Oh my God.
Ryan,
He-
look, I think we might have the genesis of a new podcast here. 80s cop shows. I think
Yeah.
we might have something. We might have to
Oh,
stick a pin in
there's-
this one and come back to it.
There's so many. There's so
Because
many.
I would very happily watch a series of 80s cop shows and talk about them.
The A-Team, another one that's a lot of fun to watch now. So dumb.
I love the A-Team.
Miami Vice,
It's so
A-Team,
fun.
Magnum
Simon and
PI.
Simon,
Yeah.
Jake and the
Simon-
Fat Man.
Chicken. You have a lot of other. We have a lot of other podcasts on the list. The Grassi Pod still hasn't come out yet, so we gotta,
But we keep threatening it.
someday it'll happen. Oh my God! All right, it's time for I don't know. Cardinals won.
Who
Kyler
gives a
Murray
shit?
ran like a game-winning
like a toddler
touchdown.
stole his parents' cell phone.
He
That's
did
the
that
only way I can
again.
ever describe him.
He did that again.
Haven't popped a champagne cold since old popped his head.
All right.
Listen, there's only one thing to talk about in this game,
Okay.
and it doesn't actually have to do with the game.
Okay.
Because as you guys well know, this only comes out when it's time to talk about media stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's time to talk about media stuff.
Hashtag
Please.
humble
Never-
brag.
Never mind. You know what? I might as well just, so long as we're talking.
Yeah,
media
please
stuff,
put it
I'm
in
just gonna-
frame.
just gonna leave
Get
that
in the
there.
frame. Yeah.
There we go.
He
Carlos Beltran,
slowly,
you owe me.
he slowly twisted into frame.
If I am Fox, I
Okay.
am so incredibly torqued off by Tom Brady's limitations as a broadcaster.
Oh my God.
You are paying this dude how many million a year because you wanted him to be your A crew guy, and now he can't even go to your production meetings.
Yeah.
He can't meet with the teams. He can't talk about the teams. He can't be critical of the officials. He can't. If I'm Fox, I am sweating because I'm so mad.
It's not good. And he wasn't good again.
Does Greg
No.
Olson take a shot at him like a Trump assassin? Like, is there going to be a bullet coming Brady's way at
Jesus.
some point?
No, because he's good. Like I was watching his game, and his play-by-play guy is also very good. I forget what his name is. But
It's
he's
not,
good.
Olsen's not with Catalan, is he?
No, he's with Joe somebody. The B,
Sure.
the guy who does
The B
Fox
group.
Fox baseball. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I know
that
who you
guy.
mean.
He's good.
It's not Iron Eagle.
No, Iron's
No.
great.
Iron's amazing.
I like Iron.
The son is good too.
Isn't
Shit.
it him and like Dale Johnson? Aren't they together?
It's
usually?
Charles
Charles
Johnson.
Johnson.
Charles Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the hell his name is.
Charles
But
Johnson.
but yeah, if I'm Fox, I am out of my mind right now.
Yeah, it's not worth that. It's not worth that.
Now, some of it's their own fault for knowing that Brady was trying to buy a team and that there might be fallout of that and offering him the deal and automatically making him their number one anyway. But I'm still pissed. I would be so pissed if I were them.
It's just not worth it. And like I'm surprised you didn't say anything about this, Mike, because he was all over Brock Purdy in the game, as if like, hey, Shanahan, why don't you bring me in instead? He was like, that pass was
Yeah,
bad.
well-
That pass was underthrown.
If you remember, Brock Purdy's first start was against the Patriots and he beat them.
He does not like Brock Purdy.
Yeah, well, I don't like Tom Brady.
He does not like Brock Purdy. He also, his new thing is that he says
He's just
instead of-
pissed because Purdy's got a lower draft number than him.
yeah,
And
he doesn't want that.
it ruins the I'm the
ruins
worst
that.
story.
Yeah, it ruins that. He also is really getting annoying because his new tick is that he just says, this guy's the bane of my existence. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Like Spagnuolo, he's the bane of my existence.
I mean, in fairness,
You won 1 million Super Bowls.
I
What
want
are you
more.
talking about? The bane of your existence. Please. You beat him. You beat Spagnuolo in the Super Bowl as a Buck, didn't you? Right? Oh my God. All right. Well, the hat is backwards.
Wasn't Spags the defensive coordinator in New York when they ruined the perfect season?
Yes, he was,
Yeah.
but he beat him already.
It doesn't matter. You stole the perfect season from me.
I guess, but you won 7 Super Bowls or whatever it is,
He
and
would've
you
tra-
beat
I-
him.
I guarantee you he would have traded at least 2 of those rings to win that giant Super Bowl.
Okay, I have a real question.
At least a 2-to-1 ratio.
Would he give up one of his children to get back one of those rings?
Yeah, that one he had with the other woman who named the
Bridget
kid
Moynihan.
First kid,
She named him
Bridget
Jet.
Moynihan.
Yeah.
Would he
Yeah.
give up his first kid?
Yes.
Like, how long does he have to wait? Like, if you come down as a demon, like, all right, Tom, we'll give you one redo if you give us your firstborn. How long does it take for him to say yes?
About 40 seconds.
Oh my god!
Guys, this
You know,
is
we're-
Tom Brady we're talking about here.
I know.
Speaking of unfinished business, because the NBA started tonight, in a weird twist, Tom Brady made a deal with the devil where Steph Curry loses 2 rings, but Tom gets his undefeated season.
He's going after Steph.
Or go the other way. Tom Brady loses 2 Super Bowl rings, and Steph Curry finishes off the 73-9 year.
Right. My God. All right. Well, the hat is backwards, which means you have to say the 3 things. So go ahead.
Oh,
That's good.
Brock Bowers is good. Everybody else sucks.
What about the press conference at the end? What's this? No, this. No. Never mind. No,
Don't care. Irrelevant. They
The-
suck.
the field goal. What about the field goal? Not the
I don't
press
even know what you're talking about. I tuned it off by then.
ins-
Once I
instead
realized
of-
they were not going to score a touchdown, I turned it off.
Instead of trying to score a touchdown, they kick a field goal to make it 2015.
Whatever.
think about that?
Fine. They suck.
I don't care. I don't want to do
Don't.
this. I
Don't.
cede my time.
The Mets lost. The Raiders suck. The Red Wings are off to a slow start.
Dumpster fire, but at least that hot mess can keep you warm. Those lucky devils and comas don't have to watch this shit show anymore. We fired the core.
God, I wish I was Frank Reich and I could just get paid to not care. Mark's Commanders crush the Panthers. It's the last category. 40-7. Dear God.
Not only do the Panthers continue to be terrible, they also potentially have ruined Mark's Commanders for us by hurting Jalen
Hurting Jalen,
Daniels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Carolina.
They didn't hurt him. They injured him, and he was easily going to come back, but they were already up 30-0. So why bother? Let Marcus Mariota cook. Good.
Is he making ramen noodles?
He's cooking the Panthers in this horrible defense. Oh my God.
Yeah, it
This is
it
bad.
don't look good for the Panthers.
It's bad. It's getting worse.
They might be worse than last year.
Bryce Young is going to. They're not worse than last year. They're hurt. They're more hurt than
Yes,
last
they
year.
are more injured than last year.
That's the
Hey,
only.
they may have the number 1 overall pick again and actually get to use it.
What do they do with it though? Come on.
And Ward,
Oh, you know they're taking Evers. Just realize it and embrace it now.
They're not gonna get it right again. Come on. Dan Morgan. Come on. Tepper's gonna do Tepper. I don't know. Mark's Commanders crush. Okay. That was it. That's all the games. It's time for there's no Mark segment, so it's time for the broadcasting moments of the week, which are fun. I got some fun ones. Let's start with this guy. This is college football. This guy with no shirt. Have you seen this?
haven't.
Wife, why does this guy have his shirt off? Me. College football fans are crazy. Wife, why does he have a headset on? Me. College football fans are crazy. Wife, why is he wearing why is he holding a Waffle House menu? Me. College football fans are crazy, and that's why I love college football. This is a Florida State fan, if you're not watching this, with no shirt on, with a fake headset, with a Waffle House menu as a play
Well,
sheet.
at this point, like if you're a Florida State fan, you have to find a way to entertain yourself somehow. You're losing to fucking Duke.
They lost again. They're 1-6.
They lost to Duke.
Duke's Duke is not the Duke you remember, but
They're
still,
still, if you're Florida State, though, they're still Duke.
still Duke. Yeah.
Come on.
I like this comment here. That Mike Norvell's play sheet may actually be a Waffle House menu at this point. Oh boy. All right, this was fun as well. We're going heavy college football to start. This is ASU's head coach who said,
This guy's amazing.
the kicking is atrocious. On Monday, we're having open tryouts. If you go to ASU and you can kick, please show up and try out.
Love
He had
it.
Why did he apologize for this?
You can say he walked it back, and I don't really know why.
did.
He didn't say
Why?
anything that wasn't true.
The kicking's atrocious. We got to get it fixed.
But Dillingham's an interesting cat. He's a fascinating portrait if you ever read pieces on him. He believes he's in the top half of Madden players on the team.
Maybe he is.
He's super young. He's like 36 or something like that. He's
I like this
extraordinarily
guy.
young.
I like this guy. Kid, if you can kick, show up on Monday. We're taking
36 is extraordinarily young, Drew. Thank you.
For a college football coach.
yeah for coach. Okay, this is fun. Devontae Adams last 7 days. He loses to the Steelers. He gets traded to a new team, and then he loses to the Steelers. And then I
Looks like he's
was,
having a blast.
That's a statistic, right? Like, find me
Yeah.
somebody who lost to a non-divisional opponent twice in the same season.
Hell, in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
and then I saw a very funny graphic. Somebody like photoshopped a graphic of him on traded to the Giants. Did you see that? And it says Devontae Adams traded to Giants will face Steelers again. He requests a trade. He really wants to beat the Steelers, guys.
Amazing.
Oh my god. All right. This is kind of interesting. When in doubt, draft LSU receivers Jamar
Yes.
Chase, DK Metcalf, Nico Collins, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas Jr. Other than
That's three of the top
DK's
five.
right, DK's not.
DK's Ole Miss.
Yeah. And what was Nico Collins?
I don't remember, but not
Yeah,
LSU, I don't think.
And I'm so sorry to do this to you.
The Riddler.
He's back.
The Panthers are gonna have the number 1 pick. Don't sew that up just yet. The Raiders just brought back Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ritter's back.
The Riddler.
What the hell? What are the Raiders doing?
I don't
You did send this to us earlier.
I did. But again,
Oh,
I don't
Ritter me
care.
this. Ritter me this. It doesn't matter. All right, Stripe Spiral time. Let's sort some of this out.
Stripe Spiral starting the same as we always start, and then there were 10. There are now 10 undefeated teams left in the country, of which, yes, Liberty is still one.
Go Mark's Liberty.
Go Flames.
The Flame on. The only interesting thing that happened as a byproduct of this is because Georgia upset Texas, we'll get to that in a minute, there are no undefeated teams left in the SEC.
Wow.
There's like 6 one-loss teams. Now, let's not make a mistake here. Whoever wins the SEC championship is going to the playoff. Whether they're 1-loss, 2-loss,
it's
doesn't
12
matter.
teams. I'm sure we'll get a
Yeah,
couple.
and they stand a very good chance of still being one of the 4 teams with a bye. But there are no undefeated teams left in the SEC. On the other end of the spectrum, we're down to 2. UTEP got off the schneid with a win, so there are only 2 winless teams left in Division I FBS college football, which is Kent State, and boy are they bad, and Kennesaw State, and this is their first season in the FBS.
And yeah, they're the
But they are the
college football
only
team.
only 2 left.
They're the team everyone picked in college football 25.
100%.
To
No,
rebuild.
I went with Middle Tennessee State, same conference, but go Blue Raiders.
University of Wyoming. Go Cowboys.
Other than that, it was, as far as upsets go, it was a reasonably quiet weekend. Although BYU and Oklahoma played a bonkers one late Friday night, early into Saturday morning. Oklahoma State still kicking, but they're 0-4 in the conference. Miami plays in a game where 97 combined points are scored. Their defense is not good, but their offense can do stuff. And Louisville's not a slouch. The House of Brahm can run the ball effectively. They have a good short passing game. But Miami's got a lot of firepower, and they are not afraid to just turn up the volume and start throwing the ball deep on people because that's how good Cam Ward is. Clemson beat Virginia. Ever since we made fun of Clemson after week 1, they've pretty much thumped everybody they've played.
Well,
So
I mean,
maybe too early to come down on
angry.
this
maybe too early to
schedule's
come down
not.
on Dabo
Yeah.
just yet. Good news for Ryan. Indiana beat Nebraska by the score of 56
Oh.
to 7.
I love this
Guys,
because
hold
he
on.
still hasn't beaten Nebraska. Hasn't beaten a top-ranked team since
I know.
when?
Guys, we live in a
The
world.
Nixon
right now.
administration.
We live in a world right now where Indiana is currently ranked higher than Alabama.
And undefeated.
Well, Alabama lost
Really?
again, right?
Our-
What bizarre universe is it where Indiana is ranked above Alabama in the top 25?
You're
Just say,
built.
and Army and Navy still undefeated. Mike alluded to it. Big game for Tennessee. Tennessee takes down Alabama. Jalen Milroe maybe not that good. I don't like him as a pro quarterback at all. He strikes me as Justin Fields. He's just 20 pounds heavier.
Tepper will draft him.
Of course, absolutely. Michigan loses because they cannot throw the ball and frankly refuse to throw the ball. And then that gets you to the big game of the week. Where the hell did it go? That gets you to the big game of the week, which was
Texas.
Georgia and Texas. Suspicious calls are made. Suspicious calls are unmade. Suspicious calls are made again. Bottles are rained upon the field.
It's fines, right?
You know,
Fines for
but
Texas?
I'll say this. Yeah, I'll say this. Even for that, Georgia looked pretty convincing in this game. You know, this is not one of those, if they played this game 10 times, I think each team would win 5. Georgia had command of this game for the overwhelming majority of it. And like Texas has 2 starting offensive tackles who, as Greg and I were talking about it watching the game Saturday night, he is afraid the Titans are going to end up with both of them. But like they had a really bad game against a really good Georgia defense. So, like I said, there's no undefeated teams in the SEC, but there are some good squads in there, man. And they just kind of eat each other back and forth, which sounds gross. But somebody's going to come out of the wash of the SEC and be a real team to contend with.
What about that wrestling promo that Kirby Smart cut at the end of the game?
Right? Kirby's trying to inject some personality. Like, you know, Brian Kelly went the fake accent route. Kirby Smart is
Yeah.
trying to make himself into a personality, which is weird because Kirby Smart is basically a 20 years younger Jimbo Fisher. They're
Yeah.
essentially the same person. They even kind of look the same.
Good ball.
There
coach,
were some
He
very
is.
funny like Emperor memes, like
Yes.
the Emperor from Star Wars memes were out there. He even like shout on ESPN. He's like, ESPN didn't pick us to win.
I know. Yeah. That
Like,
entire network
okay.
looked down on us
Your
and all this other
network.
BS.
What?
Nobody
You're-
believes in us.
You're Georgia.
Yeah, we're the number
Georgia.
5 team in the country and everybody thinks we suck. Well, that's not exactly true.
No one thinks you suck. Yeah.
By the way, as a kicker, Vanderbilt ranked.
Star Wars.
Still one of the great moments of this podcast.
Yeah. The if you missed that one as a kicker, Vanderbilt is ranked. They're number 25 in the country now.
Yes, they deserve it.
And if you look ahead to next weekend, the game that is most interesting is the clash that everybody knew was coming: Notre Dame and Navy. This could be quite a reckoning by the time it's over.
Ooh, I'm actually
Dogs
excited
and
to
cats
see that.
living together. Mass
Mass
hysteria.
hysteria. And Liberty remains the only undefeated team that is not ranked.
Wow. Liberty, come on. What's with the flame?
Their conference
Bias.
is terrible.
All right.
I mean, their conference, CUSA is out and out a bad conference. There are no good
Sure.
teams in that conference.
Sure. All right. Wow. There's a lot. The 12-team playoff thing is really messing me up.
It's fascinating.
because It is.
Well, okay, so here's the if you're willing to indulge me for a minute. Here's the
Yes, please.
here's the most entertaining storyline that could come out of this, and it may not, but it could. Let's say, because remember, the 4 teams on the bye are the 4 highest rated conference champions. They are
Okay.
not the 4 highest rated power conference champions. And I'm looking, we talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago, but I'm looking specifically at the Big 12.
Hmm.
Everybody at the start of the season in the Big 12 who we thought was going to be good is average. And everybody who we thought in the Big 12 was going to be bad at the start of the season looks really good. So what happens is they start to play each other. If the good teams get back on track, all of a sudden, does the Big 12 end up with like a 2-loss or 3-loss champion? And then carry that forward if it would probably have to be Navy or Army. If Navy or Army runs the table, would the American champion get that 4th spot and supersede the Big 12? Now, whoever wins the Big 12 is still going to the playoff, but they would lose what I think everybody thinks of as an automatic bye for a Power 4 conference champion.
How likely is it that Navy can beat Notre Dame? Is that even possible?
I think Navy beating Notre Dame is more likely than Army beating Notre Dame.
Okay.
But if and I'm
So
not as
it's possible. It's
I'm
possible.
not as big a believer in Notre Dame as some other people. I don't think Riley Leonard is a great quarterback, and Navy controls the ball, and they run an offense that not a lot of people see or get the opportunity to practice against.
Very true.
If I were a betting man, I would say Navy has probably a 30% chance to win this game. Like it wouldn't blow me away if they did. It would surprise me if they did.
Okay.
But
Notre Dame lost a dumb game earlier this year
to Northern Illinois. Yeah, and but taking that out of the equation, Navy could win this game. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be like, holy shit, Navy won if it happened.
Okay. All right. That's very interesting. We'll see what happens there. We did the foo bar. It's Deshaun Watson again. Mike, you did your dip of the week already, right?
I did. I did it early.
Good on dip of the week. Sad boy boat time. Mike, you got a sad boy for the boat this week?
Brock Purdy.
Oh.
I think he's just kind of sad this week.
Oh, everyone's hurt.
Rough game. Everyone around him seems to be dying.
Everyone around. What is
or
the
what about
Walking Dead?
There for mystery illness.
Everyone around me dies. Cream, get the money. All right. Drew, sad boy boat.
Carlos Beltran. Fuck that guy.
If he saved me from a burning car. That was classic. Oh my God. Most hated player on your favorite team. Definitely him.
Nah, that might still be reserved for when Bill Romanowski was a Raider.
Oh, really?
Or when Brett Hull was a Red Wing. I wasn't really on that bandwagon.
Oh. Ooh. I can't think of one. I don't know. I'm trying to think. My most hated player.
I used to hate Chris Woodward when he played for the Mets because that guy never saw a double play he couldn't hit into on the first pitch.
I don't know.
He wasn't a jerk. He just sucked.
I didn't like A-Rod, and then when he came, I'm like, I don't really like A-Rod, and then he didn't do anything for a long time. Maybe A-Rod? I don't know. Can't think of anybody else. Is there a
Carlos Beltran played for the Yankees. Just list.
Yeah, it could be him. Ellsbury. It's probably Ellsbury, right?
Good one.
They paid him like a freaking dump truck of money, and he didn't ever play. He was horrible. You got one, Mike? Worst player.
Most hated player on your favorite team.
Most hated player on your favorite team. Johnny Damon?
Probably. That's the name that popped in my head a second.
Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens.
I object. You were all in on Johnny Damon in the 2004 World Series. I was there. I saw it.
Look, anything that happened in that span, I get a pass on, including having to watch Fat Bailey get upset sitting in a room with a broom thinking it was all over in the ALCS.
Yep.
That was great. And if you remember correctly, at the moment they won the World Series, I immediately began packing my bags and left for Boston.
Yes, you did.
My roommate did the same thing. He actually went out to party in like the quad, and he's like, no one was there. Like, yeah, no one cares about the Red Sox. And then
one of my good friends from high school was going to BU at the time. So I called her. I'm like, I'm coming. She goes, oh yeah. She goes, there's space here for you. So I literally wrote an email that night to my professor, like, Red Sox won the World Series, not coming to class, and just pieced out for the weekend and spent the entire weekend in Boston. I was there for the victory parade. That was insane.
Yeah, my roommate Bill did the exact same thing, and then they won again. When did they win the next one?
7.
So they won again when we were in college, and he went out to the quad. Were we in
13 and
college?
18.
I
Yeah, we were-
graduated.
Have we graduated by then? I can't remember.
Mhm.
Yeah, Drew.
What?
Yeah, I graduated 05.
I was in grad school when they won the second time.
Okay, all right. So when they won the second time, I think we were in school still, and he went to the quad, and there were like 40 people out there, new Red Sox fans. He's like, I think they're all fake. Like, yeah,
Yes,
they're definitely fake.
they are.
They're definitely fake. All right, we did this. No, I didn't do my sad boy. The kindergarten teacher, Dave Canales. Put him on there. He's on there. And Mark put somebody on there. I forget who it was. Game balls.
It was
Time for a
brain
game
cell.
ball. Yeah, you're right. One brain cell. Game balls. Who you got? Who you got, Drew?
Desmond Ritter for somehow finding his way back to the league. God bless him. We didn't think it was possible. Here he is.
Ow!
Ritter be this.
Listen, he's got more NFL pay stubs than I do.
Ritter me this. He's a guy who gave the Panthers one of their 2 wins last year by fumbling on the goal line. So, and the Raiders thankfully gave the Panthers 1 win this year. You really are nailing it. You're really nailing it for me. All right, game ball, Mike. You got one?
Saquon.
Oh yeah, he deserves it.
For the fact he's like, yeah, I don't even care about breaking a record. I'm done. I'm gonna go.
I don't need to do that. Sirianni wanted him to break the record too. It seemed like he was like, "You want to do it?" He's like, I don't need to worry about this.
No, Dad. I don't need to run up the score in the flag football game to cover your inadequacies.
Let me give this one to, I don't know who to give this. I want to give it to Penix because he got to play. But maybe Doug Peterson. He got to ride home on the plane instead of a boat, a dinghy.
He got a 2-way ticket.
He got to go home. I don't know.
Now the big question is, did they actually buy him a 2-way ticket to start, or was it a 1-way they then converted?
Very good question. I'm giving it to Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Fair.
I'm changing it. I'm giving to Russell Wilson because, boy, did nobody believe in that guy except for one man. Mike Tomlin really likes Russell Wilson, and he proved him right. So give me Russ. All right. Time for plugs. We got no student of the week. Do we did the dip of the
No.
week? Any plugs? All right. Bloody good music. What do we got?
Bloody good music. Chris with an excellent piece. It's the kind of thing he and I have talked about for years, about the very nature of criticism
Oh,
and how, like, everybody, why do people like our negative, particularly his negative reviews, so much more than positive reviews?
'Cause
And
they're
why
fun.
is it that every music reviewer just throws up a positive review? Like, why can't we be critical? It's a very good piece. And he makes fun of Manowar at the end. So even better.
okay. I like the ones where he's more negative, so I agree. TGIF podcast is still Halloween. I've got to get the. I have not worked on the feed cast because it's daunting to me. I have to edit like 18 parts to make that work. So I have to figure that out. But if you want to hear about Paul Feig and the debate about his merits, you can find the TGIF podcast. I've never been more confused as to why we got down that rabbit hole, but we did. Also, good Halloween episodes like Sabrina and others. Check it out. That's out. And the next one is Gangs. So look out for that. All right. That's it. The next week is the Orton line, right?
Crap. Probably. I should plan that.
Are we Orton lining next week or not?
Week 8. We'll see if I can get the conclave together.
You have to blow on the
And,
horn to get the Gondor horn or whatever to get everybody together.
The Orton
Word
line
of Drew
calls for
summons
8.
aid.
You
Light
Would
the
it-
beacons.
have to light the peak.
Did anybody besides me and Mark watch Freakazoid?
No.
All right, you remember the part with the huntsman and the horn of urgency? I have to sound the horn of urgency.
Oh,
my
boy.
God. Ryan, I know we talked before about Venture Brothers.
Yes.
Freakazoid is another one.
Freakazoid is
Freakazoid
one
is
you love.
brilliant.
I've watched 4 Venture Brothers. I have to do more. I had
Yes,
a chance to do
it's-
more.
Freakazoid is brilliant.
you got it. The Venture Brothers is great. It will really unfold when you get to the season finale of season 1, because you're going to
Okay.
finish that episode and you're going to go, wait, what?
I really liked it because I really like the style of it to start.
Yes.
But then your guys were like, "That's not how it continues."
No, it blossoms into its whole different thing.
I'm excited. I am watching it, so
Good.
I'll keep going on that. And what is it? Freakazoid? I have to watch that.
Freakazoid.
And 28 seasons of The Simpsons. I'm still gonna do
No.
that.
No,
You
don't
only
need to
need
watch all
you
of
only
them.
need to watch seasons 2 through like 10 and a half, and then
I'd
you
say
can stop.
4. I'd say you could probably shave 2 off and half of 3. My wheelhouse is 4 to 10.
Yeah, and actually,
4
yeah,
to
I would
10?
I would say 3 to 10. I think is Apex Simpsons. There's some good on either end, but 3 to
8
10
is
is
genius.
Apex.
All
Yeah.
right.
8 is the best.
I have a lot to do. I'm very busy. All right. We'll see you next week. Maybe Orton line, maybe not. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the beacons are lit. We're not sure. All right. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.